Yeah, the macro outlook for Asia is certainly brighter now than it was 3 or 4 months ago. And two of the key reasons for that are China's reopening. That's very much dominating the Asian macro outlook, whereas, of course, different pressures in North America and in Europe. But here, the return of the Chinese consumer and especially the Chinese tourist is very much on the horizon for this year. And we think growth in Asia is going to accelerate in 2023, and it will be the only major economic region in the world that will see faster growth in the year ahead. The other good factor for the region has been the softening overall of energy prices from Q4 of 2022 and food prices too, with the region being a big importer of agricultural and industrial commodities. Like the rest of the world, though, higher interest rates and tightening conditions are having an impact. We've seen a lot of depreciation of currencies in the region, so that's caused a lot of pressure. But as the Fed is probably nearing the peak in interest rates, as interest rates soften or rather stabilize through the rest of this year, that will give Asian currencies in particular a bit of breathing space.
Simon, the commodity pricing environment is critical from the inflationary standpoint, as you pointed out. And with reference to China, do you feel that the reopening is gathering momentum, or do you think that it is losing some steam, especially towards the back end of this year?
China's reopening growth rate, we think at the EIU, will be sort of 5.7 to 6% this year. That's actually a pretty weak rebound. If you think about countries like France or Malaysia, many other examples, got growth rates of 6, 7, 8% in their reopening year. Now, for China to only do 6 or less is actually quite slow. So while it's a big increase from last year, and it's a massive plus, and we do have to remember that it's still low in context of what other countries have achieved. And it's also very focused on the consumer sector. So the B2C industries are the ones that will see more benefit. And of course, they are much more domestically focused. So Chinese companies will be the biggest winners, and places like Indonesia and Australia are probably not going to see the big rebound in commodity demand that they might have normally expected from a rebound in China, because investment and especially construction is not growing as fast as the consumer sector. Great news for Hong Kong and Thailand, though, with tourists coming back. Those two economies very reliant.